Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about what you need to do to prep a piece of wood for paint. This guy back here is going to be our subject matter today. I picked him up at Home Depot, making some shelves in the garage, and that is the leftover piece of wood. As you can see, it's huge. So I've got a really cool idea for a painting. But before I start painting, I need to prep it with gesso. I need to fill in the holes, get rid of all the imperfections. And he actually has a really big hole in the wood, and there's a big imperfection in the wood that we're going to fill in with some really thick, heavy-duty gesso, and then we're going to gesso the whole thing, prep it, and get it ready. But I wanted to show you that process in this video. So don't forget to like and subscribe before you watch this, because we're going to have a lot of other cool videos coming up, and let's build a community. In the meantime, let's get started. So welcome to the actual application portion. So this is the actual hole that I was talking about. You can see that the whole piece of wood is glued together, and when you buy stuff at Home Depot, I know everybody has gone to Home Depot and purchased things, probably wood to paint on. As you can see, there's tons of imperfections here. All throughout the wood, especially like over here, all these dents and dings and divots in the wood here. And then there's this giant hole, and this is what I want to talk about filling in. So I see a lot of videos on YouTube of people doing this, where they're showing you how to prep wood, but they're not really filling in these holes or these giant imperfections. One way to do that is with gesso. I use this is Liquitex Professional Heavy Gesso. This is almost like a paste. And let's open this. I'm going to use my palette knife here. I have a pretty big one. And this stuff is super thick. So, I mean, this gesso is very flexible. And let's just grab a lot of it. It's very flexible, and it dries flexible too. So I just have a lot on the end there, and just, you're painting a wall, just fill it in. Don't worry about how this stuff is, because you can always smooth it out later. You can always take a sander to this thing and sand this and get a little more. You may have to do a couple different applications. See, we've already kind of filled in a lot of that. It's not going to be perfect the first time around, but just try to get the most of it. And there we go. Now I'm taking the edge. We're going to do this whole thing. There we go. All right. So it's not perfect, but it definitely filled in that hole, the majority of that hole. Okay. And I really love this stuff. So look at that. We've basically filled in that whole that massive hole that was there. Now this is going to take a while to dry. Obviously, once you do something like this, you want to let it dry overnight. Go back, we're going to do another application of it, and then, we'll do the rest. Okay guys, I've let this dry a little bit, and as you can see right here, it's starting to dry, but as it's drying, this area is starting to recess a little bit. So we're just going to have to fill it in a little bit more, but it's still not 100% dry. But what I've decided to do is go ahead and fill in all these little areas in here that have, these little divots and dings in there. And I'm going to use this little palette knife just to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to get that going right now. And I'm just grabbing directly from the can, and I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, run. As you can see, it's starting to, you know, as I apply it like this, it's literally filling the holes in, and I want it to be raised a little. And I'm just going to do the top half of this board. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. Okay, it's another day, and this thing is dried. So this part is dried, so we're going to go ahead and fill in this area and just kind of do one more coat, and then I think we're done. So again, you know, just get another glop of this stuff, and I think that should do it. Once we cover this, there you go. You can see that is pretty much, that's gone. So I'm putting a thicker coat here because I want this to, I'm going to sand this down, and I want this thing to be a little bit higher than what I had originally covered, because as I sand it down, or as we sand it down, it's gonna level out. And for me personally, I do like having a little texture in there. So even after I sand it, I'm still going to want some texture. There we go. All right. Just get a little bit on the edges here. All right. I'm going to do the rest. And then we sand. I'm going to do the rest, and then we sand, and then we're done. And for the last stage, we're going to use a DeWalt orbital sander. I'm using an 80 grit sandpaper, and it's about 5 inches in diameter. So for the sanding stage, guys, I'm basically just leveling out the high parts. And I don't want it to be 100% smooth. That's my preference. I like a little bit of texture in there, as you could see in the as you're looking at the board. You could see there's still some things that I could go back in and potentially fill in and level off even more, and then go back and sand it again. But again, for my preference, I like a little bit of texture in my paintings, and I'm going to be adding texture as I paint, so it's really not that big of a deal for me. But I wanted to show you how to you know, basically run through all the stages of priming a board and sanding it down. Now, if you wanted to go back and add another level of gesso on top of this after you sand, after you've kind of leveled it off, you want to go back in and add another layer, you could do this as many times as you want, really. I wouldn't go past maybe 4 or 5 layers at the most. If you really want to get a smooth surface, you could just keep doing this over and over again until you fill in all the little divots and dings and holes in the board and make the whole thing baby smooth. So I hope this video helped you guys. Please like and subscribe and share as always, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you very much.